Right, it's time to go back to the Atari ST. I still got hundreds of discs left to play. This isn't the game I was going to do. Again, I keep changing my mind, but I found it installed on my ST hard drive and I thought it was an interesting one to look at. So let's get on with it. I miss the days when you could get free games attached to your favourite magazine. Heck, you don't even get demo discs anymore, it's all downloadable these days. Which I suppose makes sense since most gamers have the internet now. But I still miss the surprise of possibly having something good on the floppy disk. One such example of this is Thurg and Murg, which was a free game on ST Review magazine, made by Magic Soft, and as far as I'm aware is only available on the Atari. The game itself is a 1 to 2 player game that is much in the same style as many single screen 80s arcade games such as Bubble Bobble. Basically you have to play as either Thurg or Murg as they go around the level collecting all of the rings scattered around the stage, with the idea being to get the highest score possible. The levels themselves are littered with enemies and you can shoot projectiles in order to kill them. Alternatively, there are numerous bombs scattered throughout which set off a small blast around you. There are two modes in the child mode and the adult mode. The only difference that I've noticed between the two that it is far easier to get extra lives in the kid mode. So much so that it becomes far too easy. So I'd recommend pressing F1 on the title screen and just play the adult mode. The game itself is bright and colourful with some good animation on the characters and everything moves at a decent speed. I never noticed it slowing down despite the amount of enemies on the screen, and overall it looks fantastic for a free game. Like someone's actually put some effort into it. The only thing that I would say is that the backgrounds are a little bit sparse, but I suppose there is an argument that it's better to keep the background simple if just to make it easier to see the items and the enemies on the screen. Gameplay wise, Thurg and Murg control the way how you'd expect them to using the joystick. The controls are responsive and are precise enough that you know that if you fail then it is a testament to your gaming skills rather than the game being broken with slippery controls. There are different types of enemies which roam about the stages which offer varying types of difficulty. Some just run about randomly, like the long-eared dog, which actually try to pursue you, whilst dragons shoot. The most important points to consider when playing this game is to try and avoid the top of the screen, as they will drop from the bottom onto you unexpectedly, and don't stand on the platform above them, as they would jump up at you unexpectedly. Overall, Thurg and Murg is a very fun game to play. However, with a lot of 80s style arcade games, it's much better to be played in short sessions, as ultimately it's a very simple concept and your only real goal is to collect points. And there's only so long you can play a game like that, well in my opinion at least. But nevertheless, let's get on with this, and I'm gonna play this for as long as I can until I die. So let's get on with it.
Bye.